Hello, Elly here from Thankful Flow Yoga. Thank you for joining me for another one of my flows. Today we are going to be looking at the connection between all the chakras and doing a lovely sort of short and sweet flow up in a child's pose. So melting the hips down to the heels and melting the chest and the forehead down towards the mat. Taking some deep breaths here. Start to check in with where you can feel the breath. Maybe you can feel it in the back body, in the side body. Observe which parts of your body are connected to the mat and which parts are not. Surrender the weight of your body to the mat. Really let go. Perhaps you can feel sensations in the fingertips or anywhere else in the body, noticing where you can feel any energy. So this practice is thinking about bringing together the different chakras that we've looked at during this series of flows. So opening the eyes up, start to come into a tabletop position, and from here, really keeping the hips above the knees, start to walk the hands out in front as you melt the chest down to the mat for your puppy pose. Breathing here, reconnect to your breath. So we're opening through the shoulders, the neck, the upper back. So opening through the heart here, so opening through Hatha, the heart chakra. But also possibly taking some light engagement through Mula Bandha, through the root, to support the body as you come into your puppy. Inhale, start to walk the hands back in. Take a gentle rock back and forth, massaging into the wrists. Maybe start to take some circles to the right, then to the left. And then we'll start to bring the left leg out behind you. So lengthening the left leg out. See how this feels first. It might be that you're working here today, working into some balance and strength and stability here. Maybe you also want to see how it feels to take the right hand away. Reach the fingertips out in front. So as you reach the fingertips out in front, press the left foot back out behind you. And then bend the left leg in. Guide the right hand around, and maybe this right hand is finding the left foot, coming into a half bow pose here. There's a lot of strength and stability, a lot going on. So just see how it feels. You don't have to come into this option. Breathe into any shakes and wobbles. Release the hand from the foot and guide the hand and the leg back in. Well done. And then we'll start to sit the hips back for another child's pose, but option to bring the knees wide here. As you sit the hips back, melt the heart and the forehead down, coming into a wide leg child's pose. So opening up into the hip space, Svadhisthana. Notice if you can feel your breath in the belly, the abdomen, the chest. Start to lift the hips away. Bring the knees back in to roughly hip width apart. And then we'll start to reach the right leg out behind you, pressing this right foot back. Imagine that there's something behind you that the right foot's pressing into. And then maybe seeing how it feels to reach the left hand away. Could be working here. Maybe you're bending the right foot in, and this left hand can find the right foot and press the foot into the hand into the foot, finding your half flow. Breathing here, keep breathing. Start to release the foot from the hand with control, and then guide the leg and the hand back in, meeting back in your tabletop position. Well done. And from here, tuck the toes under, and we'll start to walk the feet in towards the hands. Feet roughly hip width apart, bend the legs as much as you need to, come into a forward fold. Option to bring the hands to the elbows. Take a gentle sway from side to side. See how it feels to bring the weight through the balls of the feet. Start to release the hands from the elbows and roll the body up to standing. Head coming up last, coming up with rounded spine, meeting in through the feet. Inhale, sweep your arms up to the sky, lift your ribs away from your hips. Exhale, hinge from the hips, come forwards into your forward fold. Soften the legs as much as you need to. Inhale, lift the chest, lengthen the spine, halfway lift. Exhale, bring the hands down to the mat, step the feet back, drop the knees down, lower the body down so that you're lying on your belly. Inhale, roll your shoulders, peel the chest away from the mat, Cobra. This could be a high Cobra or a low Cobra. Thinking about what's going to serve you in this practice today, not what the ego wants. Thinking about what you need today. Exhale, release the chest back down to the mat. Start to press the hands into the mat. As you inhale, lift the body away back through your tabletop position. Tuck the toes under, and on your exhale, send your hips to the sky for downward facing dog. Breathing here. Roll the triceps down in your downward facing dog. So these muscles, these lower arm muscles, roll them down towards the mat. This helps to strengthen, stabilize shoulders. On your next inhale, step or walk the feet in towards the hands. Lift the chest, meet in a halfway lift, lengthen the spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep the arms up to the sky, grow the spine tall. Exhale, bring the hands through to your heart center. From here, step the right leg back, come into a high lunge. Sweep the arms up to the sky. Remember, you could drop the back knee down to modify. And then from here, move into your warrior two. Fingertips come out to the side, gaze comes over the left fingertips. Inhale, lift up and out of the waist, float into a reverse warrior. Right arm rests, right hand rests on right thigh, really lightly. And the left arm's coming to the left ear, keeping space across the chest, heart shining up towards the ceiling. Inhale, float back to your warrior two. Open out into a wide leg position. Point the toes forwards. You could pigeon toe the feet slightly. Inhale, reach the crown of your head to the ceiling, lengthen. Exhale, hinge from the hips. Come forwards into your Prasarita, Tadasana. Maybe you're coming to a halfway point. Maybe you're working with hands on blocks here. Your fingertips could be coming to the mat. Perhaps you're walking the hands so that they're in line with the feet. Lightly bring the weight forward through the balls of the feet. Bring the hands back to the hips. Inhale, slowly lift the chest, coming up from your Prasarita Padottanasana. And then we'll see if you can shuffle the feet in and start to ground through the right leg, right foot. And then bring the sole of your left foot to come into your tree pose here. So maybe it's resting on the right ankle. This knee's opening out to the side. You could be working here in your tree. Maybe the foot's coming to the calf, maybe the thigh. Inhale, reach the fingertips up to the sky. Find your gaze or your drishti out in front of you. Breathe here. Keep reaching the crown of the head to the ceiling. Press the foot into the leg into the foot. Strong inner line of energy. Imagine the energy center, the channels through the body, really strong, right the way through from the root to the crown of your head, growing you tall. And release from your tree pose. And meet back into Tadasana at the top of your mat. We'll start to come onto the other side, so grounding through the right foot this time, step the left foot back, find your high lunge. On your inhale, lift up and out of the waist. From here, opening into your warrior two. So we bring the left heel down, side of the left foot's roughly in line with the side of the mat. Reach the fingertips away, strong arms, relaxed shoulders. Send the gaze over the right fingertips. Flip the right palm up. Inhale, lift up and out of the waist. Start to come into your reverse warrior. Opening through the right side body. So legs are staying the same. All of this movement's really initiated from the waist. Breathing here. Float back to your warrior two. See if you can transition and pivot so that both feet are facing forwards. And you could pigeon toe the feet slightly. Inhale, lift your ribs away from your hips, lengthen the spine. Exhale, hinge from the hips, come forwards into your fold. This could be a really subtle range of movement for you. You may not even be coming down to halfway. You could be hinging forwards here with a really nice lengthened spine and working in the stretch here. So coming into a place where you can feel the stretch that feels right in your body. That is not going to be the same as anybody else. Send your breath to the backs of the legs. Maybe you can feel a stretch through the lumbar spine, so the lower back. Bring the hands back to the hips. Inhale. Start to slowly lift the chest, coming up from the fold with control back to neutral. See if you can walk the feet in And this time we ground through the left foot into your tree on the other side. So you could be resting the right foot on the left ankle. Maybe it's resting on the calf. Maybe it's coming to the inside of the thigh. Find your drishti or your gazing point and start to reach the hands up to the sky, lengthening the spine, reaching the crown of your head to the ceiling. Try to relax the muscles in your face. Relax the jaw. Keep the breath flowing. And release from your tree pose. Well done. And we'll come down to the mat, coming through a malasana. So bring your feet slightly further than hip width apart and point the toes out. Hands can be in this Anjali Mudra prayer position. We'll start to soften through the knees, so bending through the knees, coming down into this squat. Maybe the forearms coming to the thighs. You could be working here in a very active version. Maybe the hips are coming down and you're hovering the hips above the mat. You could be popping a block under the hips here and working here in your malasana. You could be in a seated malasana with your hips on the mat. Really important thing for this pose is finding the length in the spine. So keeping space across the chest, reach the crown of the head to the ceiling, engage through Mula Bandha, your root lock, pelvic floor muscles, muscles at the seat of the pelvis. Imagine this energy drawing up from the root, coming through to the crown of the head, lifting and supporting you. And release the hips to the ground. Bring the legs out in front of you. You can work with a strap here. Pop that behind the soles of your feet, the balls of your feet, if that's what you're working with. So starting off in Dandasana. So legs out in front, feet are flexed. Inhale, reach the crown of your head to the ceiling. As you exhale, start to come forward into Paschimottanasana. So leading with the chest, hands could be on the shins, on the thighs, the shins, maybe the feet. Folding forwards. Lifting and lengthening on the inhale, sinking into the fold on the exhale. Inhale, start to come up from the fold. Come back to a comfortable seated position on your mat. And from here, either closing the eyes or taking a steady gaze. You can rest the hands in the lap, coming to Dhyana Mudra. So one hand underneath the other, palms facing up. This is a gesture of receiving new energy, connecting to your wisdom. Notice how the air feels as you breathe in through your nose. Relax the neck and the shoulders. Let your shoulder blades run down your back. Perhaps you can feel some sensations in the hands, maybe some energy. If you can't, that's okay too. Just being aware, observing. As always, if you would like to stay in Shavasana or drop into meditation for longer, then please do. If you're ready, you can start to open the eyes, come back into the physical body. Thank you so much for joining me for this short and sweet practice where we have reflected and come aware and come back to these different chakras that we've been looking at over this January series. I hope you've enjoyed the flow. For more information, have a look at the description below. But please do support and subscribe to this channel if you've enjoyed this resource. And I can't wait to see you again for more practices very soon. Bye bye.